All right, y'all. I'm designing a custom Lego set of my childhood home for my dad. This is day 41. Our channel has 3 rules here. We've got 20-minute video every day, no editing, show some progress, and bonus rule, let's yap, storytell and talk while we work. So let's start the 20-minute timer. Let me zoom myself in here. I gotta figure out how to like do this quick on the fly. But we'll figure that out as we go. I think it's kind of nice to like have the, mix it up a little bit. Yeah, let's make that a little bigger. That if y'all noticed in the beginning, I got the yeah, make it a little smaller. I've got the bed in the background. I had my birthday party over a week ago now, almost 2 weeks now, and my brother came and stayed with us. And so we set up the bed for him, but I always procrastinate putting that thing back up so bad. It's really not even hard to do or bad to do. I just procrastinate it anyway. Um, but yeah, I so eventually I'll get to it. But until I finally do, you guys are gonna see it back there. Okay, so here we've got. Guess we're gonna have to anyway. So we're trying to clean up this corner. If you're new here, we got the whole house. We're designing right. We've gotten to kind of just clean up this corner, put a base plate on, and then yeah, we're just gonna do decals, like design that, and then design the box front. So that'll be good. But I gotta figure out this stinking thing here. I like where this is at generally. The 2 bits that I need to figure out are how do I attach it like on these sides, at least one of the sides. Right now it's just kind of floating there. And then second, like some ridge to cover this eyesore, you know. I mean, the other thought is I might just do this anyway. I don't know. I was gonna say something like this to like just fill in some of the gaps, but then it's just like inconsistent. So yeah, some to cover that. I think, how long is this pole or this bar? Is that eight long? Yeah, let's do something a little bit longer. And as far as attaching it, maybe we can go. It's tough because we kind of got the double angle going on here, like we do other places. What if we did something like, you know how this has this? Like, what if we did something like this, where it attaches on the end of that pole, but then this is turned, like this then can attach to some pole. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, one like this, where it's that way. But since this is curved, I can kind of angle that as we need. So maybe we got to like shift all this down a little bit. So let's try that. Whoops. Yeah, something like that. And then this becomes our way to get that angle. I guess we'd have to lift it up a little bit more. Yeah, actually that works pretty nicely. And then we just kind of sink this into the corner here. Honestly, that works super nicely. Yo, I don't know if I really used bars much growing up, but man, in this build, they've been like crucial. So that's been kind of sick. Okay. How do I actually get that thing in there though? Does not seem to want to go where I want it to. I want to go on the underside of this. Can we make it not snap? And then if we can just bring this down. Okay, maybe that'll do. Oh, there's just so much other stuff it's trying to snap onto. I don't want it to do that though. Maybe if I just put this directly on first, rotate it. Yeah, okay, I like that. Yeah, I was watching Remember the Titans today. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Such a good football movie. Um, and yeah, growing up, that was like our favorite thing. Um, or one of our favorite movies, just because we're a big football family. I mean, there's like what, five of us boys, and I think we all played football, I think. Um, I was like, why is this off? That's why. So, which way do we want to do it though? There we go. That's what I want. And so we loved it. But that movie, I remember we got it from like cereal box. It was like back in the day when like you could, I don't know, just get little prize things from cereal boxes. And so I remember we had gotten some Star Trek toys from one. We got that movie from another. We got Chi Chi Bang Bang from one. That's a classic. Um, yeah, we got a lot of fun ones. Or maybe not a lot, maybe just a few, but I remember it felt so sick to like get those. Um, okay, what are these? That's still a little high, huh? Is there a good way? Does anyone know? Is there a good way to like rotate these things just a little more easily or like fine motor control? I feel like I gotta just like barely nudge things. Okay. I think that'll work in real life though, honestly. Um, and then low key, since it's sitting on these, I kind of think just that one side is gonna be enough. Maybe that sounds kind of crazy, but low key think it's gonna be enough. So the only other thing I gotta figure out here, let's get this one rotated. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, Chi Chi Bang Bang, that was another classic. I swear it was like always in the afternoons that we'd watch it. At least that's what it always felt like to me for some reason. And I never liked afternoons growing up. Weirdly enough, like I hated the color orange and red. And like that was why I didn't like Arizona growing up. I like felt like it was always orange or red outside. For some reason that was just like, I don't know. That was just like how it felt. And I didn't like that. So I didn't like Arizona. And then nowadays it's like, I mean, I love Arizona, like good weather. I'd much rather be hot than cold. Obviously, I say that now, like when we've been having perfect weather. But we'll see how I'm feeling by the end of the summer. Although I guess we'll be moving, so that'll be crazy. Going up to Oregon, which will be so different, but I'm hyped. Like, definitely always been one to like. I like exploring. I like going new places. The big thing I'll miss is just my family, like close to some of my brothers down here in Arizona, and it's just like it's just so fun. Um, we've always been tight, but I feel like especially as adults, we've gotten closer. So that's been cool. Um, let's release this from the other one. Oh wait, no. Let's unlink from the other one. So then we can edit it and it only edits the one. So I'm gonna have to replace that with different bar. Um, so that's gonna be tough, honestly. Like that'll kind of suck. But I think it'll be worth it. At the end of the day, like it's not forever. It'll just be for now. And we'll cross paths again. Just kidding. But like we'll live near each other again. Um, so yeah, so I'm hyped about that. Um, this is kind of tough because Yeah, no, that's great. It's never gonna be exact. I gotta like get just be okay with that. Um, but yeah, so I'm actually so hyped. The P&W, I've spent some summers up there. Spent the summer living with a homie and his family. They were super nice to me. And yeah, they that does fit over, right? Yeah. At least it looks like it. Um, yeah, I think I was dating a girl at the time that lived up in Anacortes. So um, what are they? The San Juan Islands up there in Washington, right by Canadian border. And that was just sick, like exploring that part of the US I'd never been to before. And just so foreign. Like again, like grew up in Arizona. Um, that whole idea of just like these rainforests and stuff, like so sick, you know? Um, so and just the summers up there are so pretty. Oh, we gotta unlink that first. I'm a little bit worried in case you gotta do anything with these, but we'll make it work. So yeah, that was a cool experience in my life. Just traveling, right? Like I didn't have a home base, which nowadays I would hate that, right? Like I'm definitely a homebody. Back then it was a chance to just kind of, oh, I see part of the issue here with these being so close, like resting on it, then these end up being at a different angle, and since they don't meet on that thing, then you end up with this like, they're these are each slightly less sloped as you go closer to the end, so they're always going to be a little bit off unless I bring this down, like just yeah, make it not touch. Like if all these are a good bit above. I think that's kind of thing though you mess with in person. Like once we're actually building this, we can mess with it then. Um, no point dealing with the little details like that now because it's like as you're building it, you're like making those little tweaks, those little adjustments, you know. And this design is like fully adjustable, so I like that about it. So yeah, Oregon will be sick. I tried doing auto framing, but I don't love how that moves around. So let's try that. Oregon will be sick, but I'll miss some things about Arizona. Um, but I think it'll be worth it. So I think it'll be a good experience. And at the end of the day, honestly, call me crazy, but I want to end up in California. And so I just can't afford that right now. That place is so crazy expensive. Uh, and so I gotta spend some time first, saving up, getting ahead, and then so then eventually we can get there. And okay, so that was hitting that. What else are we hitting here? What is this colliding with? Is it just literally that? What is that? Oh, it just doesn't go that deep. Okay. Well, that works. Um, yeah. And I think we'll just have that literally rest on there. So I think that's good enough. Um, so yeah. Um, I kind of like this solution, not gonna lie. It's really not bad. I think it's the best one I've got yet. It almost lines these up, not quite. But then the only other thing we got to figure out is uh, getting a tile across the top of these. So that's got to be an expensive piece, right? How much is that? Um, 2x6. Is two even going to be wide enough? 1x6. It's about half the cost, so might as well. Yeah. So what were we talking about? Oh, Pacific Northwest. Yeah. I had a period. I up in BYU. It was kind of crazy. I mean, there's a lot of crazy things about it, but um, the housing was so messed up. So like they made it so you had to live within this very small geographic area around the school, but they only had enough room for some freshmen in dorms. So it's like, not that you want to live in dorms after freshman year, but it's like you didn't have a choice. Like you only were eligible to live in the dorms freshman year, and they just didn't have enough room for everyone. So you had a lot of freshmen that still lived off campus. Um, and then, yeah, so I'm thinking something like this, guys. Uh, Can if I turn off snap, well, let me put this right next to it. If I turn off snap and collision. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, so everyone was stuck living away from campus, and okay, I didn't touch anything. What is this intersecting with? I don't know. Yeah, living off campus, and but they required you live in this like small geographic area, and so we would like you just ended up getting screwed by um, apartment complexes that are just like super overcharged. There's one specific like private equity or whatever, some group that bought 30% of all the housing that was eligible for anyone attending BYU, which like that's a good chunk. Like that's not full monopoly, but it was like I think there was literally three or four players that had the vast majority of the market. So I don't know if there's full collusion, but there was definitely like prices went up, like very clearly. And for just like the crappiest apartments, which I get like college housing is usually pretty crappy, but like I'm telling you, I've hung out with people at other universities and it is not as bad. Like they were just like, I mean, Utah gets hot in the summer, like it's 95, and it's like there was plenty of places that didn't just straight up didn't have electric uh, AC, but they would charge like I think it was like a six dudes to one apartment, each one like three rooms shared, like literally bunk bed type beds, and it was like 400 or 450 a person. So like this old ass like literally my uncle stayed in those apartments when he went to the school. So it's like they've been around for I mean, over 50 years. Yeah, at least over 50 years. So anyway, super, super old, terrible, whatever. And yet they charge these exorbitant costs. And then like I come down here realizing like, wow, I can get so much for that price. Um, but it was ultimately just because they kind of had they had a not necessarily monopoly, but like, you know, they could kind of do what they wanted. So where was I going with this? I totally lost the train of thought. We were talking, remember the Titans and then housing. Of course, I've like totally spaced it now. Housing was crazy. Dude, I totally lost my train of thought. Well, that story's not going anywhere. So if you made it to this far of the video, that's not a great reward for you. Um, I guess you get to say that you've been here. Um, yeah, we should start doing like some kind of secret word at the end where if you actually stay to the end, you get credit. It's low key like the professors that are like, yeah, like the attendance quiz is just this word they put on the board that you put in online, and it's like the random word they create every class, and they know if you were there because you wouldn't know the word otherwise. But then it's like everyone just shares it, so it doesn't actually work like that. Okay, let's just get these things secured. So I really just need something that works for the bar. Um, like one of these kind of things, you know what I mean? That like gives us a point that we can attach these on. Um, like these, but that's just too long, too big. I also want to see, I feel like there's got to be a better one than this. This doesn't seem to really be that great. The only other thing I could think about is if we were able to like attach 2 bars end to end, that'd be clutch. But I feel like they just, whatever it is, it gets in the way. Like we don't have a ton of space here, right? So yeah, like it's not like there's not a ton of room for a connector there. All right, we're already out of time. So we'll continue this tomorrow, but I think we made some good progress here. I'm liking the way this looks. I think that's looking plenty good enough. So I'll see you all tomorrow.